MBS digital cable customers. Did you know that you automatically get a library of movies, music, and shows that are ready to watch when you are? And that most of what's available on demand is totally free. To access on demand, go to Channel 1. Then you can explore. And did you know it's near impossible to lick your elbows, but 99% of people try it anyway.
Did you know?
To understand a story this important, you have to be there. Tucker Carlson live from the Middle East, all this week at 6 on MSNBC.
Americans, 25,000 of them, are still waiting here. Many say they're not being kept informed by the embassy.
It seems like we should be at least getting just something of an update each day.
Evacuation efforts in Lebanon are finally in full swing at this hour. So far, the U.S. has evacuated more than 200 of its citizens, but it's hoping to get 2,000 out tomorrow. Israel held fire in Beirut for a time while Americans and others escaped the war zone. NBC's Beirut bureau chief Richard Engel has the story.
4 Marine choppers lifted 120 humanitarian cases out of Beirut, including women with small children and Americans needing medication. At Beirut's main port, a huge Norwegian transporter was diverted to give 1,000 Europeans and 136 U.S. college students safe passage to Cyprus. American officials say up to 2,400 more Americans could be evacuated tomorrow.
We will continue facilitating Americans to leave as long as we need to do so.
Leaving today, 21-year-old Lizzie Colmia. We met her last week, trapped in her dorm, complaining about the slow American response.
Everything's blocked.
Today,
I'm smiling, yeah, I mean, we're about to go home.
as the Americans left, Israel held its fire in Beirut for the first time in a week, but stepped up attacks elsewhere, on trucks loaded with Hezbollah's weapons, in Tyre near the Israeli border, and in nearby Aitarun, killing 5 members of a family. Another Israeli attack killed 10 Lebanese soldiers on an army base. They're not supposed to be targets either.
For most Lebanese, there's no help to escape the fighting. Yesterday, a 5-story building stood here. As this war continues, entire sections of South Beirut are being reduced to chunks of concrete and burning debris.
Ahmed Homani took advantage of the lull in airstrikes in Beirut to inspect his hardware store. The Israelis haven't left anything, he said. Homani is waiting it out. So are 65,000 from South Lebanon now living in emergency shelters. They escaped to Beirut for its relative safety.
NBC's Richard Engel in Beirut. Meantime, foreigners are not just getting out of Lebanon by sea and by air, but also by road. NBC's Carrie Sanders has more from the highway to Damascus and safety.
It's a race to the border, but the exodus north from Lebanon is not easy. In some cases, police escort the buses on the single road out that has not been bombed.
It is terrible. My husband doesn't know where I am. My embassy didn't do anything for me.
Rhonda Campbell, a Canadian, and her 7-year-old daughter Chantel made it out today. It's estimated 400 people an hour are crossing into Syria.
2 days we've been waiting, 2 nights. We still didn't eat.
It's very bad what they're doing to this country.
Raising the anxiety of those refugees as they head north? Scenes like this. This was a military headquarters taken out by Israeli F-16s 2 days ago.
Syria is overwhelmed by refugees. Thousands, like the 9-member Salah family, arrived with luggage in hand, but nowhere to stay. Hotel rooms are scarce. Meantime, in Lebanon tonight, fear Israel will target mountain tunnels, effectively cutting off the only land route out. Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Tripoli, Lebanon.
Thanks, Carrie Ann. With thousands of Americans expected in Cyprus in the next few days, the government there is helping to set up a facility to get them back home safely. NBC News has also learned that those evacuees will now not be charged for their travel expenses after all. NBC's Dawn Fratangelo joins me from Larnaca, Cyprus with the latest details. Dawn.
It's quiet here now, but this port in Cyprus is about to become a very busy safe haven for thousands of people, including the estimated 8,000 Americans who want to leave Lebanon. Already, hundreds have been arriving here over the past few days, citizens from Italy, from France, from Greece. That has frustrated some Americans who are still in Lebanon and are complaining about the slow pace of their evacuation. That operation is to begin in earnest tomorrow, including help from a cruise ship, the Orient Queen, hired by the Pentagon, which can carry 750 passengers at a time. The U.S. Embassy in Beirut is saying that by the end of the week, it expects to be ferrying about 1,000 Americans a day. Tomorrow, they expect that they could perhaps transport as many as 2,400 Americans. Getting here is one thing. When they reach Cyprus, all of these folks from various countries will have to be processed, and there are task force arriving here from different countries. Their job to process these people, then figure out where they go and how they get here. A very busy few days ahead for this main port in Cyprus. Dawn Fratangelo, NBC News, Larnaca, Cyprus.
Dawn, thanks so much. Meantime, Sarah Ahmadiyya is a 27-year-old teacher from Hawaii who went to Lebanon on a holiday of all things and is experiencing a vacation now from hell. She joins us now by phone from outside Beirut, where she's hunkering down with family and friends. Sarah, I understand in the last little bit you got some news that you might be leaving Lebanon shortly. What have you learned?
Yes, we've gotten confirmation that as of 1 p.m. Beirut time today, we will be evacuating. We need to report to the, it's a Lebanese army base that's right near the American embassy. And then they will be transporting us from there to the boat where we will go to Cyprus today.
How eager are you to leave, and what have you been experiencing the last few days?
I'm very eager to leave. At the same time, I'm very hesitant, both because I'm scared and also I'm hesitant to leave my family. We've got really, really wonderful family here, aunts and uncles and cousins. And in the last few days, I've had my entire world turned upside down. I'm from a very, very small town in Hawaii, where I know everybody by sight, and we complain about how boring it is. And in the last few days, we actually had to evacuate the other town that we were staying in because there were bombs dropped about 500 yards away from the house. So to experience something like that has been absolutely life-changing, to say the least.
You know, you told our producer that the U.S. Embassy has not been helpful to you. Has that been frustrating to you?
Oh, it absolutely has been frustrating. I mean, even as late as Friday, which was I believe 2 days after the bombing started, I was calling after our house had just been hit with bombs and asking for help, saying, you know, how are you going to get us out of here? One woman said, evacuation plan? What evacuation plan? You're stuck here. Haven't you seen the news? Someone else that I got a hold of the next day said to keep checking the website, even though Lebanon had been without electricity for 24 hours. I mean, the comments I've been getting from there have been absolutely ludicrous. I was even blamed for coming to Lebanon in the first place because I should have known better.
Yeah, you know, what do you say to these U.S. officials? You know, and also all these other countries have seemed to have been able to get in there a lot sooner and get their folks out.
I don't know what to say to them except that they have to be better prepared and they have to do a better job in situations such as this. I was lucky, but I really, really, really did escape death by literally yards. And this is just unconscionable because had they acted sooner, we could have been in a safer place than where we were.
Sarah, safe travels. Thank you very much for being with us. Hours away from leaving Lebanon, an American. Thank you very much. And coming up, everybody, we saw one woman in Haifa learning of her husband's horrible fate. Up next, NBC's Martin Fletcher and Richard Engel talk with Brian Williams about the difficult images they have seen firsthand. And war not only tears buildings apart, but as you just heard, families too. How are Lebanese Americans dealing with this, knowing their families could be in grave danger? One man shares his worries with us. He's coming up.
Your risks can change quickly. Make sure your insurance stays in sync. Travelers.
At what point does a car become more than just glass, rubber, and steel? When does it become something you love? When does it become part of your family? At what point does a car become more than just a car? Introducing the all-new Toyota Camry for 2007. It's time to move forward.
Dr. Robert Jarvik, inventor of the artificial heart.
The average heart beats 2 billion times. The heart is amazing, but high cholesterol can lead to heart disease. Lipitor can help. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor significantly lowers bad cholesterol, 39 to 60%. If you have several common risk factors for heart disease, Lipitor is clinically proven to reduce your risk of heart attack. And more cardiologists surveyed said they'd prescribe Lipitor for their own families than any other cholesterol-lowering brand. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. They may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Lipitor is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. It's your heart. Ask if Lipitor is right for you.
Visit Lipitor.com for a free trial.
Some of the rarest, most beautiful, and most sought-after gold coins in history were not even known to exist until a few short years ago. But now, Monaco Financial, one of the nation's leading rare coin firms, announces the availability of a very limited number of truly historic and truly magnificent gold coins minted during the 1850s California Gold Rush. These rare $20 gold double eagles, private assayer, and territorial gold coins, and more, are now available for acquisition by those who can appreciate this historic numismatic opportunity. Call Monaco Financial now for this free catalog of rare gold coins and other treasure recovered from the 1857 shipwreck of the SS Central America. Call 1-800-283-6161 now for your free Monaco Financial Gold Rush Treasure Catalog. That's 1-800-283-6161. Own a piece of history. Call Monaco for your free catalog now.
I'm Bill Fitzgerald, and here's what's happening. The Associated Press reporting the Israeli military saying a small number of troops have now entered southern Lebanon searching for tunnels and mines. Israel declaring it is ready to fight Hezbollah guerrillas for several more weeks. A Scandinavian ship carrying Americans evacuating Lebanon arrived in Cyprus tonight. More ships are set to evacuate thousands of others Wednesday. An air traffic control center servicing the 3 major Los Angeles area airports is on backup power. The center experienced a power outage for some 90 minutes, bringing most air traffic in the area to a complete standstill. A cruise ship headed for New York took an abrupt roll at sea off Florida. Dozens of people were injured, including 2 critically, and that does include a child. The Crown Princess had just left Port Canaveral when it experienced problems with its steering equipment. Fortunately, the ship was able to right itself and then head back to port. You're up to date. Let's go back now to the MSNBC special Mideast Crisis.
And breaking news tonight out of the Middle East, as you just heard, the Associated Press is reporting that a small number of Israeli troops have entered southern Lebanon searching for tunnels and mines. We're joined now on the phone by Dan Gillerman. He's the Israeli ambassador to the United Nations. Ambassador Gillerman, what can you tell us about these tunnels and mines that are being targeted?
Good evening, Rita. What we're seeing is a very limited incursion into southern Lebanon. This is no invasion and this is no occupation. This is a foray into southern Lebanon in order to try and destroy some Hezbollah outposts, try and detect some mines and tunnels which are used by the Hezbollah in order to infiltrate Israel, in order to mine our northern border. So this is a limited operation. This does not signify any beginning of an invasion or any serious ground activity in southern Lebanon.
You know, Ambassador, could we see more of these types of incursions in the future?
We could see more of these types. We could see more of a lot of things. I mean, Israel has a very large array of things and capabilities. We have not displayed all of them, and we have not used all of them. We're using different techniques and different measures as they are necessary in our fight in order to destroy the capability of Hezbollah, make it incapable of firing rockets into our towns and villages and killing our civilians. And our ultimate aim is to make Hezbollah totally incapable of being the terrorizing movement which has terrorized not just Israel but Lebanon, and is the root cause of all the trouble and all the suffering which Lebanon is undergoing at the moment.
What kind of an impact do you think so far the Israeli government, your government, has had on Hezbollah? What, percentage-wise, I mean, how much down and out are they?
I cannot really put a percentage on it, but I can tell you that we have destroyed a significant percentage of Hezbollah's capability. We are hitting Hezbollah where it hurts, in their logistics, in their headquarters, in their capabilities. And I venture to say that Hassan Nasrallah is very, very sorry today that he started this. I think he grossly miscalculated. He did not realize that Israel would react the way it did, but we had no choice but to do it, because this was an act of war on the part of Hezbollah emanating from Lebanon, from an area which we have totally withdrawn for over 6 years ago, an area which the international community has demanded that Lebanon free of the stranglehold of Hezbollah. Hezbollah has been holding Lebanon hostage for years. Lebanon has been pilfered and raped by tyrants in the north, Syria, and by terrorists in the south, the Hezbollah. And I think that if we succeed in what we intend to do, and what we're doing today is only part of it, at the end of the day, not only Israel will be safer, but Lebanon will be free, and that will be a very important message, not just to us, but to the whole region and to the whole world.
Ambassador, we're hearing that Israeli army representatives are refusing to rule out a massive ground invasion of southern Lebanon. We're getting sort of mixed messages. Shimon Peres was saying that he doesn't see sort of a sustained effort like that. Can you say tonight that there will or will not be ground troops going in?
No, I cannot say whether there will or will not be. All I can say is that Israel has absolutely no intention of invading Lebanon, of occupying Lebanon. We have no fight with the Lebanese people. We have no quarrel with the Lebanese government, although we see it responsible for what happened last week. We left Lebanon with no intention whatsoever of ever returning there, and therefore I do not see Israel occupying Lebanon.
Does that, Ambassador, what does that mean in terms of, a major force going in? We talked about a small force going in tonight. Again, everybody, if you're just tuning in, small number of Israeli troops entering southern Lebanon, as we just heard from the ambassador, hitting Hezbollah tunnels and mines in southern Lebanon. But Ambassador Dan Gilliman, the Israeli ambassador to the UN, real briefly, can you rule out that there may not be a larger force going in at some point soon?
Well, I cannot rule anything out, but all I'm saying is that we have no intention of invading Lebanon. We have no intention of occupying Lebanon. We will, however, do whatever it takes and whatever is necessary in order to break the back of Hezbollah, in order to disarm it, in order to make it totally incapable of terrorizing either us or the Lebanese people any longer. And whatever it takes and however long it takes, we will do it.
Ambassador Dan Gilliman, my friend, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you so much. And everybody, coming up, a look at the human toll of this invasion, a heartbreaking moment caught by our camera. Stay with us.
It's back to school, and Best Buy's got what kids need to succeed, like laptops with fingerprint scanners for extra security. Convertible notebooks that let you jot notes directly on the screen for new ways to learn. And Media Center computers that let you record, watch, and pause live TV. Check out the Gateway Convertible Notebook with dual-core technology. It's a perfect blend of performance and creativity. Save big for back to school, now at Best Buy.
Because financial solutions have no borders or boundaries,
UBS operates in only 2 locations. Everywhere. And right next to you. You and us. UBS.
Hey, guys, are you sick of feeling fat and tired? Would you like to get noticed? Has your sex life slowed down or even come to a screeching halt?
Introducing Nutrisystem for Men, the weight loss program that lets you eat like a man and feel like one too.
You have the power to change everything. How people see you, how you see yourself. Look at these guys. They all lost a ton of weight with Nutrisystem. You can too.
Call right now or go online to order, and Nutrisystem for Men will send you 4 full weeks of awesome food. And through this special offer, you'll get an extra week of hearty meals absolutely free.
Hey, losing that spare tire doesn't mean you have to give up the foods you love.
The secret to the system is the glycemic index, a science that separates good carbs from bad. So now you can eat pasta, burgers, pizza, even chocolate.
Come on, get back in the game. With Nutrisystem, you can do it. My wife loves the way I look.
Since Nutrisystem, my sex life is excellent. I feel I'm back again. I feel like better than I did in high school.
My sex life's great.
About $10 a day gets you 4 full weeks of satisfying food. That's 112 rib-sticking, perfectly portioned meals. Meals you'll love, guaranteed.
No counting, no measuring, no weighing in. What guy has the patience for that?
And there's more. Order today and get an extra 7 breakfasts, 7 lunches, 7 dinners, and 7 desserts, a full week of food, and a $70 value absolutely free. Even the shipping is free right to your door.
Get off the couch, pick up the phone, and change your life.
I haven't felt better ever in my life. I wish I had done this 10 years ago. The last time I looked like this, I was in my 20s. I'm 40 years old. I'm in the best shape of my life.
If you want to be your best, if you want to look your best, then give Nutrisystem for Men a call.
Hurry, call now and get Nutrisystem's 4-week program and get an extra week of food free.
Get back in the game.
When the story is this important, how do you decide who to watch? You choose a network with reporters on the ground, up close, personal. You choose one backed by the global power of NBC News, and you choose one delivering breaking news wherever you need it. When the story is this important, the choice is clear. MSNBC.
But it didn't stay quiet for long, Joe. As you can see, just hours after Israel
Certainly a harrowing moment caught on tape by our Beirut Bureau Chief, Richard Engel. And in the Israeli city of Nasiriyah, today a shocking close-up view of the human toll of this conflict. Here's NBC's Martin Fletcher, who was caught right in the middle of the action.
We started our day in a bomb shelter in Nasiriyah. I asked the kids, do you know Hezbollah? They want to kill us, 11-year-old Tal says. His sister Michal feels safe here. But as we left, panic, new rocket attacks all around us. Katyushas, she shouts, bombs. Where are my children, she cries. A man points to the smoke and we run there. Half a mile. Past another bomb shelter. More frightened people pointing the way. When we get there, cars are destroyed. Gasoline flowing down the street, burning embers. Careful. Live electric cables on the ground, water mains broken. Deadly combinations. The Katyusha rocket, with its 50-pound warhead, made only a small hole in the ground, but spread terror. A man is in shock. Then, close by, a second rocket, but nobody was wounded either time. The house here has been hit by a rocket, but everybody was inside the bomb shelter here. And then a third rocket. Terror on the home front. We run another half a mile. A quick response can save lives, but for all 3 bombs, we got there before the ambulances. This man had no chance. A direct hit. They're just waiting for the ambulance to arrive, yet again, right next to a bomb shelter. Most people are inside, and that's how they stayed safe. But this man clearly was in the wrong place at the wrong time. At the shelter, this lady is desperate. Where are you? Where are you? She cries. The man explains she's lost her husband. The woman tries to call him. Then everyone hears a phone ring. It's by the dead body.
Incredible story from Martin Fletcher. Thanks so much. Also, today, NBC nightly news anchor Brian Williams flew exclusively with the Israeli military, and he got an eye-opening and very dangerous look at the fighting firsthand.
In a Black Hawk helicopter at 1,500 feet, we are flying over the northernmost part of Israel. With us is a high-ranking general in the Israeli Defense Forces. Over the constant air traffic chatter in Hebrew, we learn there is activity on the ground right below us.
There has been some shelling right now, some hits. We're going to try and look for it. Okay. Going to be on the right-hand side. Brian.
The trails of smoke and dust visible out the window are where Katyusha rockets have landed, in this case in the uninhabited Israeli countryside, and in some cases they have set fire to the surrounding brush. The missiles are unguided and random and plentiful. Then I notice something out the window.
There's a launch trail right there. I saw the launch.
From a distance of 6 miles, I witnessed a rocket launch, a rising trail of smoke, then a second launch, an orange flash, and more smoke as a rocket heads off toward Israel. Our tour by air ended on the ground in Haifa, but in a low-lying and vulnerable part of the city. Our drive to the safety of the surrounding mountain is interrupted by the sound of sirens. We are in Haifa. The air raid sirens have just sounded. Generally, that means we have 60 seconds to seek shelter. We have chosen a high-rise apartment building at random and are directed down several flights of stairs to a bomb shelter, all the while waiting to feel or hear something, signaling possible impact. On our way down the stairs, we felt deep but far-off concussion of what has become known as a hit or missile strike here in Haifa. After the all clear, we again venture out into the empty streets. This is an unusual sight in a city of 500,000 people, the city of Haifa, a major thoroughfare with no cars. Most of these buildings are empty. But over here is the view the Israelis are most worried about. Down in the port section of the city, the petrochemical plant and the fuel storage tanks. Haifa is a battleground in a random war. Those who remain behind here have decided to play the odds.
Brian Williams, thank you. And when we come back, Brian talks with our correspondents caught in the middle of the conflict and a look at life at home for one family waiting as the bombs fall in Beirut.
Are oil companies thinking ahead?
Oil companies have an obligation to try to develop things to be cleaner, safer, and better for the environment. And if that means expanding their product line to have alternative types of fuels, whether it be wind, hydrogen, solar, whatever it may be. And I'm not an engineer, so I don't have the answer.
People always ask insurance guys, when can I get my car back? Well, a lot faster with this Sprint mobile broadband card. I can instantly download customer data, file the claim, and handle more customers per day.
Do more with Sprint mobile broadband.
So when can I get my car back?
Well, Sprint Business makes just about any place a workplace. Get a card for $49.99 with an unlimited data access plan after mail-in rebate. Visit sprint.com/business.
Work on that left hand.
Thanks for the jest, Mom.
Simple, everyday moments can be the perfect time to talk to your kids about not smoking, so you don't have to plan a big discussion.
Look, there's a dragonfly on one of the roller coasters.
Is your leg? A little moment will do just fine. Talk to your kids about not smoking.
Smoking cigarettes can hurt your game too.
They'll listen.
Don't worry, Dad. I won't.
For conversation starters, log on to philipmorrisusa.com.
Yo, yes, you're excited. I know what you're thinking.
You're thinking plentiful. You've never seen anything like it before. It has wholesome grains, real beef, even carrots and peas. So there's carbohydrates for energy and protein for those serious muscles. And you even get some vegetables.
So happy.
Love it so much you only think you're getting spoiled.
Yes, you do. But it's good for you, too.
Healthful, flavorful, Beneful. Beneful brand by Purina.
When you're in business, you understand that timing is everything. And whether you're adding one or dozens of vehicles to your fleet, there's no better time than right now. It's Commercial Truck Month at Newburgh Ford. Get an E150 cargo van for less than $21,000. Loaded Super Duty F350 Crew Cab Diesel 4x4s for under $38,000. And at Newburgh Ford, you can work directly with commercial truck experts, making the entire process quick and easy.
So see us today at Newburgh Ford in Mercury. We just work harder for you.
Are you sick and tired of being cooped up inside? Are the dog days of summer getting you down? Are your Friday evenings dull? Do you want to spend some quality time outside being entertained? This August, the City of Beaverton and Comcast are presenting the annual Flicks by the Fountain movie event. Join us in downtown Beaverton at Beaverton City Park for an outdoor movie presentation under the stars. Flicks by the Fountain is a free family event on 4 consecutive Friday evenings in August. Bring your blankets and low-back chairs to enjoy the movies, but please leave your pets and alcohol at home.
And some breaking news tonight out of the Middle East. A small number of Israeli troops have reportedly crossed the border into southern Lebanon. According to the Israeli army, they are carrying out pinpoint attacks on Hezbollah outposts. And they say this is not out of the ordinary. This, of course, is in addition to a number of Israeli airstrikes in just the past few hours, pounding at least 3 locations, including the Beirut airport. Meantime, Brian Williams, the anchor and managing editor of NBC Nightly News, is also in Haifa, Israel tonight. He spoke with Martin Fletcher and also Richard Engel about the difficulties covering this conflict. Brian.
Rita, good evening. And first off, tonight finds us in the northern Israeli port city of Haifa. The port of Haifa, in fact, is behind us right over our shoulder. 2 distinctions with this location. Number one, it is vulnerable and valuable to the Israelis, and they worry each day in this random missile war that the petrochemical plant and fuel storage tanks, among other targets over our shoulder here, will be hit. Number two, it is close enough to this back and forth air war being fought that tonight, in fact, during our conversation, we can hear the far off and feel the far off concussions of either airstrikes or artillery firing of some sort. We want to have a conversation with the 2 correspondents whose work you've seen again tonight from this region in Beirut, Lebanon. And after all, Lebanon has taken so much of the pounding in this fight. Is correspondent Richard Engel. He's standing by there for us. And with me here is Martin Fletcher. And Martin, after your reporting today, the question really is about randomness. You've covered so much of the armed conflict here over the years. I know your camera crew were veterans today. They were shaken by what you saw. This is really something else entirely.
We were trembling today, actually. There was so many rockets falling around us. There were 3 within about a half mile. 14 fell in that area where we were. 3 at the time we were there, and then there was a 4th one suddenly. And it was shocking, apart from the fact that there was a dead body, yards away with a decapitated head here, a hand there. We were trembling, and at a certain point, when the 4th rocket fell, and when they started pushing everybody back inside the bomb shelter and say, get in quick. We hear the planes over us now. They're on their way to Lebanon. It's the warplanes. They'll be coming back, reloading, going back. They're just bangs and rumbles and roars and thuds and rockets all the time. It does make you nervous in the end.
Yeah, that's right. And Richard, that brings us to you because it's probably the afterburner from an F-16 we can hear that you may be hearing a few moments after us. With the nonstop air activity and with the nonstop tempo of the fight where you are, what's your freedom of movement like? We're having an issue getting both sides of this out. We have entities like the Israeli Defense Forces to help us get out and cover this story. What is your freedom to go out and gather pictures and sound?
There's no restrictions from the government of any kind. You can go where you like. The main concerns now are for safety. Going into South Beirut, for example, an area controlled effectively by Hezbollah, is a very difficult and dangerous undertaking. They're very nervous, let alone the fact the neighborhood is constantly being shelled and attacked by Israel. So aside from the danger of something falling and exploding from the sky, there's also the danger that Hezbollah, being the organization that it is, will take you and interrogate you and detain you in one of their facilities. So you need to coordinate with them and try and use local fixers who have contacts with the organization when venturing into their neighborhoods. Also difficult now is going into South Lebanon, another Hezbollah stronghold. Many of the roads have been cut off. And then there is the fact that you don't know when the next airstrike is going to be, or when it's going to happen, or where it is going to be. Just today there had been a lull in the airstrikes as the evacuation of Americans was underway, but then just hours after the ship left carrying Americans, the airstrikes resumed here on Beirut, and tonight there have been some 3 very significant airstrikes, and sending us to the ground here at the live position where we're reporting overlooking the city.
Martin, speaking of warning here, we had our own encounters with incoming rockets today, and it really did seem to time out. We heard the siren. It was about 60 seconds later that we heard an impact. Has that been your experience?
Well, yeah, I mean, here in Haifa there's sirens. In Nahariya there's no sirens because it's that much closer to the border. So the whole northern, all the towns in the north of Israel get no warning at all. It's just a boom and that's it. And in Nahariya the same, because we're a bit further south, about 21 miles from the border. So now there is time for a siren, but it's a very brief siren, as you found out. It's about 60 seconds maximum, not always as much as that. That's not really. That's if you're very. That's why the Israelis say they've been told stay in your bomb shelters or stay very close to a safe place. If you're not if you're not close to somewhere, you won't get away. There's nowhere to run or to hide.
And Richard, all these pictures we keep seeing from Lebanon, it's worth discussing again tonight. Is there a way to put a percentage on infrastructure destroyed? It was, often called the Paris of this region. I need not tell you, but so proud and gleaming were they after the refurbishing of all those buildings lost in the last big conflict. What's been lost? Is there any way to take a large accounting of it?
It is still happening right now, so any accounts done are going to be outdated quickly. There's been, according to the Prime Minister, more than 50 bridges that have been destroyed. There have been half a dozen factories in this city. Most of the major highways have been attacked. There have been hospitals that have been damaged. So there's no price tag put onto it right now, as this is happening on a hour-by-hour basis. But according to the Prime Minister, this country's infrastructure, he said, has been set back 50 years.
And Martin, that part of the Israeli air campaign surprised a lot of people, particularly across the Atlantic in the United States. The bombing of the bridges, the highways in and out. Those were some big investments, some major pieces of infrastructure that were gone in an instant now and will be out for the foreseeable future.
Sure, and don't forget that Lebanon was just rebuilding itself from the civil war in the 1970s. Everything, all the bridges that were destroyed and the infrastructure was carefully planned and put into place. That was replacing stuff that was destroyed in the 70s. So putting Lebanon back 50 years, well, they're still trying to catch up with where they were 30 years ago.
And that's an example of, in this fight, Israel, by retaliating for the missiles, is not just killing the enemy. We've seen the casualty count from inside Lebanon.
And Israel's very concerned about that. Their leaders keep saying that the Lebanese people, the government of Lebanon, is not their enemy. In fact, the Lebanese government is anti-Syrian and is very pro-Western. So as a matter of fact, Israel could easily develop a good relationship with their government. But after this extraordinary damage that Israel is doing to the infrastructure of Lebanon, well, it's hard to imagine how that relationship could ever be built on the basis of trust again.
And Richard, back to you for a final question. As you know, we saw the kind of end result of these Katyusha launches today. Extraordinary, 1,500 feet on the deck underneath our moving helicopter, very random, lighting the brush on fire where they would land and kind of self-destruct. But it is said the estimate between 10 and 14,000 stockpile. that could take a long, long time to exhaust.
That is certainly the case. And then there's also the estimate that they have about 30 or 40 of these very long-range rockets, one of which was there was an attempted firing from a place not far from here yesterday. That could carry a payload of about 1,200 pounds and travel 60 miles, far enough to go to Tel Aviv. So it's not just the enormous quantities of the stockpiles of Katyushas, which are much smaller and have a much more limited range, but there are these additional missiles that could have a much more strategic importance and effectively land in Israel's most important city.
Our thanks to Richard Engel, our correspondent in Beirut. Martin Fletcher here with us in Israel, and that is our roundup of this day 7 of the conflict from this region. Rita, back to you.
And Brian, thank you so much. Everybody coming up, what is it like for one family in Beirut waiting to leave but learning to live with daily bombings? Find out when we come back.
Pure Dell. It's an uncomplicated approach to increased productivity. With scalable Linux and data management solutions, you can get more real-time information to streamline your supply chain. And it all runs on new Dell PowerEdge servers, featuring the reliability of dual-core Intel Xeon processors. So growth isn't just a goal, it's a given. That's the direct path to success. That's pure Dell.
There's only one that's completely natural and liquid cool. All natural Capri Sun.
New improved Roundup. Now so effective it even beats the weather. Now Roundup kills the root so fast nothing can stop it, not even the rain. New improved Roundup. The best gets even better.
$30,000. Do I hear 40? $40,000. Do I hear 50? 50,000. I have 50,000. Going once, twice. Sold to the gentleman in the center. Moving on. This is a 19.
Okay. I want to go ahead and sell it now.
Sell what?
That thing I bought.
Constantly buying and selling stocks doesn't make much sense either. That's why Edward Jones recommends investment strategies that have proven themselves over the long term. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
I feel these tingling sensations deep inside my legs.
It's a tightening feeling that keeps me from getting to sleep.
For me, it's creepy crawling. I feel like I have to get up and move just to get some relief.
My doctor said it's restless leg syndrome, or RLS. He prescribed Requip, the only RLS medication approved by the FDA. He said Requip would help relieve my RLS symptoms, even the uncontrollable leg movements that disturb my sleep. Requip helped me make peace with my legs.
Requip may cause you to fall asleep or feel very sleepy during normal activities such as driving, or to faint or feel dizzy when you stand up. Tell your doctor if you experience these problems, or if you drink alcohol or are taking medicines that make you drowsy. Side effects include nausea, drowsiness, vomiting, and dizziness. Most patients were not bothered enough to stop taking Requip. Ask your doctor if Requip can help put your RLS to rest.
And tonight, thousands of British citizens are still waiting to get out of the war-torn city of Beirut. Philip Ray Smith of our partner ITN sat down with one family that is playing the waiting game in wartime as they are held up in their own home tonight, afraid to leave.
Outside, there may be a war going on, but at the Naylor household, family life has to continue. They don't have much choice. They've been told simply to stay inside.
We hear that we can't get out of the country because they go to the ships, they will blow us up.
I spent the evening with the British family at their apartment in West Beirut, where the bags are packed and the children are desperate to be evacuated to Cyprus.
I feel a lot more safer where it's not so scary. I know there's you get to sleep at night without hearing explosions and, you're not afraid at all.
The family spends the evenings watching TV with the sound turned up so they don't hear the explosions outside.
When the bombs are falling, it's just really, really frightening. It's frightening for everybody, not just for them.
The Naylors have lived in Lebanon for 11 years. The children have grown up here. They've already had to give away the family pets, and now they face leaving everything behind.
That's been one of the hardest things, is seeing the uncertainty. And I think one of the things that struck me over the last few days is the silence.
Even when they're being called to prayer, most of Beirut's residents keep off the streets. Inside, the Naylor's children are allowed to stay up late in the hope that they'll be tired enough to sleep through the night of bombing ahead.
They've got lots of questions, and we're trying to answer the questions honestly. So often we have to say we don't know. We don't know when the boat's coming. We don't know when we'll be going.
The family have to watch the TV for news of what's happening on their doorstep. All the British Embassy has said to them is stay inside and wait.
And that's just one family among so many others hoping for the best tonight in war-torn Beirut. Stay with us, everybody. MSNBC's coverage of the crisis in the Middle East continues in a moment.
Jewelry Exchange has thousands at the guaranteed lowest price. Half-carat ISI diamonds are $800, 3/4 carat $1,600, and 1 carat just $2,900. Buy direct, the Jewelry Exchange, with superstores nationwide or online at Jewelry Exchange.